Hello, I'm Garen Castle, and today I will be teaching you how to make a D&D character. Now, this is what you will need. You will need a character sheet, a player's handbook, see the cover, and a pair of dice, and a pencil. Now, this character sheet has already been filled out because I have done this video multiple times before. And because of this, all the stats and everything have been filled out, but I will go through like I haven't. Already just filled it out. And to begin, I will need to pick a race. Now, obviously, we'll need to pick a pretty versatile race and a basic one. So, up here we write human, as in rate, for a race. Because humans are the most basic race in the entire D&D universe. They have an ability modifier of +1 to everything, which I wrote right here. And they get one language, which I chose as Celestial. And also languages will be over here as well, to make it easier. Now, once you have your race picked, you will want to choose, or you will want to roll for stats. This right here is a D20. This is what you roll for every stat. You'll want to roll for all of these: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. I'll explain each one. Strength, I rolled a 16 before, and according to this chart, I get a +3. Now, dexterity, I rolled an 11. I get +0. Now, constitution, I rolled a 6. That's bad. So, I get a -2. And 3 for intelligence, which is really bad. So, I don't want to base anything off of intelligence. So, on this chart, I would have a -4 modifier. Wisdom and charisma, I both got 18, and because of that, if you look on the chart, you will see that an 18 gets you a +4 modifier. Now, we should probably talk about what each one of these mean. A strength is how strong you are, obviously, but you can push, pull, hit, throw. Dexterity, how fast, speed, stealth, and, quickness, how fast you can dodge. Acrobatics, even. Constitution, how much of a hit you can take, what you're immune to damage-wise, and what you're resistant to. Intelligence, knowledge of the arcane arts, what you can investigate, knowledge of nature, religion, and that's actually about it for, and history for intelligence. All of these are listed right here. Wisdom. Wisdom is stuff like, if you look here, medicine, perception, and survival, animal handling, and things like that. I should mention that strength is involved in athletics, just athletics, and dex is involved in sleight of hand and stealth. Now to charisma. Charisma is talking to people, trying to persuade them, perform, deceive, which is all of these things right here that I mentioned. And these scores right here will determine what you score here. This is the most important die you'll have in the game because it also will decide stuff like if you roll a hit and that kind of stuff, but that's moving on. These stats will also determine saving throws, your proficiency bonus, I think, yeah, it does. Your passive wisdom or passive perception, really. Hit points, your speed, your initiative, not your armor class. Now, once you have your stats rolled, you should begin to pick a class. Since we have high wisdom, charisma, and strength, we should go with a paladin. As I've wrote here, a paladin. Paladins use strength and charisma in their normal throws, and wisdom and charisma in saving throws. And because of this, we can see that it has high ability modifiers for each one. And this will help us be the best class we can. Paladins start off with multiple different traits, like Divine Sense. Divine Sense allows a paladin to look at someone and see if they are good or evil. Lay on Hands. This allows them to, lay their hands on someone and heal them. Now, I also have ability score modifier increase, ability score increase to all, 1 to 1, or 1 to all, because of humans, and then language celestial because of humans. I've said this. Now, once you have your class chosen, you should begin to talk about, or look at, talk about to yourself what equipment you'll need. You can start off with either equipment or gold to buy the equipment. I started off with equipment. I chose an Explorer's Pack, which has everything you need in exploring and traveling. Now, Paladins start off with chainmail, a shield, and a martial weapon. A martial weapon is a large weapon or such like that. And I chose a long sword because that is a pretty, basic weapon for a paladin. I also have 5 javelins as a throwable weapon form. Vestments, which is, robes for church. Well, not really church, technically. An amulet for his faith, which is Dol Aura. And a holy symbol, which is of Dol Aura. He also starts off with 15 gold, seeing how if you choose equipment, you start off with 15 gold automatically. Now, once you equip stuff like chainmail, you will gain 16 to your armor class. As you can see, he started off with an armor class of 2, and add that to 16, you get 18 for an armor class. And you also get attacks. With a longsword, it gets attack bonus of +5 for being proficient in this weapon. A damage, if I hit, of 1d10 plus 3 damage. So if I were to roll, allow me to find the d10. This right here is a d10. If I were to roll a 1, not very great, but a 1 is 1 damage, plus 3, so 4 damage. Which would be the same of an unarmed strike, which every character has. Now, moving on. Well, once you get everything figured out statistic-wise, you'll want to pick a backstory, or make a backstory. And information about your character. Like my character, Tanir, that's his name, up there, is an acolyte. He comes from a church. His church is the Church of Dol Aura, as I previously mentioned. His meaning he also has it's called the ability of Shelter of Faith, which means any church of my religion will automatically let me stay in their place. I also am able to learn 2 other languages, which I chose over here as Dwarvish and Undercommon. These are 2 very well-known languages, so it's best to choose something like that. I keep moving around and it keeps going out of focus. I hope you can see all this. I'll show you a good view later, like right now, actually. like right here, 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 and these, which I will explain the numbers here soon. Now, once we have this picked, our background picked out, you'll want to choose an alignment. Alignment, CN means chaotic neutral. I don't personally use alignments, mainly because I just don't think it really matters, because players will not always follow one true alignment. And you'll also have stuff like their traits, what they look like Tanner is a male, has red eyes. He's a medium-sized creature. He is 6'4". His faith is dull aura. His black hair. He has tan skin. He is 46 years old, and he weighs 292. This is all important stats that are characteristics that will be needed to determine stuff that your character can do. All this stuff right here, I'm giving you another look. There we go. And now for background, this would be it right here. Personality traits. There will be personality traits that you can choose from according to a paladin. Now I will show you these right now, if I can pull it up real. I'm also looking at an app, which there is an app for this. And it's a lot easier to use, but this is a lot better for transportation and stuff like that, because you can't lose it if there's no internet. Now, description, if I look here, I will see if this will focus. If I go down to suggested characteristics, these numbers, you roll a D8, which is this right here. If it'll focus in, you roll it. See, I got a 2. You look at this, a 2. I can find common ground between the fiercest enemies, empathizing with them, and always working towards peace. Now, before you choose 2 personality traits, by the way, I roll a 3 and a 5, which would mean I see omens in every event and action. Gods try to speak to us, we just need to listen. And 5, I quote or misquote sacred texts and proverbs in almost every situation. This is important to your character. And then D6 for your ideals, which a D6 right here. You know what a D6 looks like, hopefully. It's in every board game. I got a 5, which would be faith. I trust that my deity will guide my actions. I have faith that I work hard, things will go well. And before, if you look here, you got a 6. So it will say, if this will focus in, aspiration. I seek to prove myself worthy of my God's favor by matching my actions against his or her teachings. Next on the bonds, if I roll a D6, you got that. And I got a 3, which would be, I owe my life to the priest who took me in when my parents died. Now this might be important to the DM whenever he tries to make a story. He can include stuff like this. Now flaws. For flaws, I rolled a 2, which would be, I put too much trust in those who wield power within my temper's hierarchy. And this is also important to your character because it shows stuff about them. And overall, this is the most important stuff for making a character. Once you make a character, you'll have to worry about the other stuff as you move along. But your DM will help you along the way, hopefully, and you will learn how to play and love the game. This is Garen Castle, and thank you for listening.